We have a panel discussion now for 1 hour on oneM2M's university engagement with academia and startups. I welcome Mr. Andrew Mingyu-Hen, who will be the moderator for the session. Andrew Mingyu-Hen, Professor Andrew Mingyu-Hen, Division of IT Convergence Engineering, College of IT Engineering, Hang Seng University, Chief of ICT Convergence Standard and Technology Labs, Hang Seng University. I also invite all the panelists, Mr. Bob Flynn, Mr. Harish Kumar, Mr. Jae Song, Mr. Sachin Chaudhary, and Mr. Neeraj Dhawan. Bob Flynn has 20 years of experience in research and development in oneM2M and 3GPP global standards. He's an Internet of Things expert, recognized for his ability to architect solutions for clients to meet project needs. Mr. Harish Kumar, UIET Punjab University. Harish Kumar is keen STEM researcher and enthusiastically engaging professor with a proven record of completion of various projects funded by different industries. Mr. Jason Song is a professor leading the software engineering and security group in the computer and information security department at Sejong University. Dr. Sachin Chaudhary received his BE in electronics from VNIT Nagpur, India in 2002, ME telecommunications from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore in 2004. Mr. Neeraj Dhawan, Chairman and Managing Director, Invast Technologies Private Limited. Sirs, the floor is yours.
Okay, so can I start? Okay, thank you for joining today. Actually, this is a very interesting session because the oneM2M itself is for the industry, but as we all know that academia is the base of the industry and the future of the industry as well. So I think this program currently the oneM2M now planning to introduce, that is the oneM2M and academia relationship program. So this time we would like to discuss that kind of issue. So thank you very much for joining today. Okay, so the point is now we are launching this program, and maybe it's the first time, this the first trial of this program in oneM2M. So maybe we better together, the sharing or information and ideas each other. So I'd like to ask next me, Bob. He's a vice chair of the oneM2M TDE. So I'd like to hear from him about Penn State University's case.
So a couple years ago, when I stopped working for my former employer and started working on my own, really what drove me to that decision was my desire to stay involved in oneM2M. I've been really passionate about the technology, the community, and the different places I've seen with that. But one of the things that I really wasn't happy about was in the United States, I don't see a whole lot of uptake of oneM2M. And the company I was with, they were spun out from Interdigital, Convita. That's my background. I worked for Interdigital and Convita projects since basically the start of oneM2M. The CSE we built, we spun out a company named Cordant, and we didn't market in the US. When we market outside the US, they said, sure, it all sounds good. Tell us about projects you have going in the United States. So we couldn't sell because we couldn't sell in our own backyard. So why would anybody from somewhere else buy the product, right? So when I went out on my own and decided to try to do something about it, again, I'm on my own, so I'm doing it on my budget. I learned about a program that Penn State University has, and that's the school that I graduated my undergraduate degree from. So that's kind of how I had to, got word of it, and it's not too far from my home. They have what they call a capstone project. It's a project that the senior level engineers across all the College of Engineering performs, and then what they do is that engineering department looks for companies who will sponsor a project that company needs. So that's what I'm doing. I'm asking the students each semester, a group of 4 to 7 students, to do a project that I'm interested in having done. So I chose to make that something about oneM2M. And since I work quite a bit in cellular, I tend to make the projects that I sponsor involve some sort of cellular platform, and so that they can address that. I have multiple goals with this. It's, again, I'm going small, and I'm going from a consulting, basically my own funding. So the goals that I'm trying to achieve with this is each semester that I work with students, one, I'm introducing them to oneM2M so that we get a little bit of awareness. But not only are the students becoming aware of it, and hopefully I'm teaching them the benefit of oneM2M. That's a goal that I look at. But in addition to getting access to the students, I'm also meeting professors at the university, and that's actually what has led us to have our TP61 at Penn State University this coming year. But then also this capstone project that I mentioned, I'm just one company. There's well over 100 projects every semester that are being done. So it's an opportunity for me to look at some companies and what they're doing. And what I've seen is a lot of companies are doing Internet of Things projects for their own business need, and they're experiencing the common problem with Internet of Things projects. They have an idea, and that idea has nothing to do with the middle layer that oneM2M supports. Nobody's idea is to build that middle layer. Everybody's idea is either some device idea or some application idea, and then they're stuck with all this complexity in the middle. Typically, what a lot of companies will do is one of the big cloud providers, they'll just follow the examples for that. And so this is kind of the path I'm trying to take, starting with Penn State. And then as that progresses and gets a little bit more publicity, I'll try to spread that out to other universities, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's a very good experience, and I think that is also effective for the students and the company as well. So I guess that in that case, there are many things important, but the point is there are capstone project. So from this project, we can get some new ideas from the student and the professor, the guiding student to make it real. So this kind of thing is very important to do that, right? So that makes us, how can we support them? This is very important point, right? Yeah. So the other case is Professor Song, the same university. Of course, in Korea, my university, the Hansung University, also doing the communication process. But the Sejong University, they are very specialized in oneM2M platform. They have many experiences about the oneM2M event and sample as well. So it's better to get this idea, right?
Can you? So I've been thinking what I need to share in the panel session. So because this is kind of sharing experiences, in my understanding, of how we use oneM2M in academia. So early days, like 2015 or something, when we developed our release 2 certifications. At that time, how I use oneM2M in our university is something like introduce oneM2M concepts and so on. And then at that time, mostly, the students are like MSc student, which is underrated, because they are involved in like a project, like a monthly project. So and then they have some more knowledge, So at the time, I introduced oneM2 to MSc students, and then they try to use oneM2M to develop some sort of application. And then definitely we cannot do that from scratch. So we use open source. So I introduce my student about mobiles, and then typically, Katie, who develop mobiles, their research comes to university, and then they provide some tutorials and so on. Because even I was involved in the development of certification and also the chair of testing groups and develop conformance testing group and so on. But still, it's quite difficult for me to look into the code and then explain everything and how to develop, and learning tutorial itself is really difficult, right? Even I'm involved in a little about this project and so on. So I think it's mostly, similar to other faculties in other universities. Because we know conceptually how it works, what's important, and what kind of content need to be delivered to students. But if we go into detail, especially for this kind of implemented stuff, if we go into detail, it's quite difficult to fix all those things, right? Because all the students have different developing platform and development environment and so on. So it's not possible to teach them every single bit one by one, right? So that's the reason why I got a lot of support from Kathy and in our ecosystem, like our delegates and so on. Because some of our delegates, one of the delegates developing standardization, but also they are developing like open source, and then they are who answers all questions posted on Stack Overflow and so on. So I a lot help from those very nice and great and knowledgeable experts in oneM2M and also IT and so on. So that's the first phase. The second phase, since 2017, in my university, in my department, we create an open source project course for undergraduate students. And then definitely I was the one who developed the, who designed the courses. So in the courses, I completely use IoT. So anyone who registers my courses, open source design implementation, they need to study about IoT from the bottom, from the devices to application. They need to understand and they need to be trained how to use Raspberry Pi, then how to connect single sensors to Raspberry Pi or Arduino, and then they need to connect their devices to like one platform. Either it was at the time, available open source or Mobius and then oneM2M. So they use Mobius or oneM2M to connect their cellular devices. And there are a couple of available sources for application. There are some web applications, and then also some dashboard that shows resource tree of oneM2M, and then also there are several open sources to develop like Android applications. So they develop application to connect oneM2M platform and then show the status of some sensors and so on. So those are the second phase I learned. And then based on those experience, students can think of what's the problem in the campus and how they're going to solve the problem using oneM2M IoT platform. So I explained to oneM2M educational workshop that hosted by Andrew this week. So during COVID-19, there were several very interesting cases that I see. One of the interesting cases to measuring the sanitizer bowl deployed in the campus, right? So probably it'd be similar to Indian universities during COVID-19. You guys put sanitizers in different places, but anyway, if it is empty, then somebody need to go there and fill it up, right? So, but the problem is when is which one is empty and which one is going to empty and which one is full, right? So one of the idea from students is to have some weight sensors on the sanitizers and then see how when is it empty and then how fast it's going to be empty, and then based on those information they can provide the information which one is going to empty and then where is the sanitizer that consumed frequently and so on. And there are a couple more other stuff. And then it was quite interesting. And then also last year, with the funding and then help from Indigo project, we even learned international hackathon to the student who registered my course. So it was quite successful. And then now the third phase, I'm thinking about the third phase, which is not just application, but also I try to ask a student to develop and to contribute some functions and some features to oneM platform, right? So in order to make it happen, we develop Tiny IoT open platform, which is implemented in C. So because it's operated by my lab, so my student have opportunity. Well, I mean, my student means that register course have opportunity to use it. And then what I plan to do is ask them to find bugs or add new fields or refactoring, make it to run it more efficient, something like that. So in that way, I mean, student can experience not just, I mean, simply developing application and learn existing open source, but also they can learn how open source community is working and how they gonna find out some problems in the platform, right? So that's what I'm thinking now to learn in the next semester. And then after that, I think my plan is first I'm gonna learn such an experiment with Tiny IoT. But after that, if it goes well, then I'm thinking to expand it to other opens like Acme and so on, so that the student can directly involved in the development and fix of the open oneM platform. Then I mean, those open source platform doesn't need to be maintained by one person, right? There are a lot of many testers and the student who can find it, and in order to find those bugs or some improvement, they need to read and they need to look at the code. And if they look at the code, then they are the one who can use it, right? So I mean, there are some differences. Two categories of students or developers who simply use oneM2M and then connect application, right? But also there are different categories who actually look at the code itself, how it runs, how our Flex container is implemented in the code, and how ACP is implemented in different open source, like that. Then I think they are the one who will lead in the future oneM2M if they become industry. I mean, the developers, and then in the future, if their companies are using oneM2M, then they are the one who can lead. So as I said, I mean, I'm planning to run third phase of development program, open source development program. So maybe I can share later, maybe at this year or next year, how it goes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Professor. Of course, you have many experiences. And thank you for your clarification about the business to see. Yes, of course, Professor Song has many experience about that, as I about that, but I heard that India also have many experiences and ideas as well. So, Professor Sachin, I guess you have many things about that. Please share that.
Yes, thank you. So I can relate to what Bob and Jason said. So we have two courses in IIIT for where we are teaching, say, oneM2M, which is part of oneM is part of the syllabus. So first course is the first year of BTech CC, computer science, basically engineering, and where my colleague Deepak is teaching couple of classes of oneM2M standard interoperability and oneM2M, and there are couple of lab sessions on this. Interestingly, the first lab session happened with the help of a student who won hackathon which we conducted. So then we got an ecosystem that we have a nice ecosystem in the sense our senior students will teach our junior students. So we have that. So that's once we have the structure, then it's easy for us to maintain. And that's just like Bob mentioned. So we gave in the second year the course me, Aftab and Shal give is embedded system workshop. It's like a basically kind of a course. And there they are supposed to basically start from take problem statement, start from scratch, build a whole IoT solution which would have an in between. And sometimes they'll build different verticals and exchange data between them. And on top of that, then we have researchers who's like you mentioned, the third phase and the second phase where students start looking into the code, start modifying it. So we have writing papers on security. So my student, she wrote paper on security for oneM2M based implementation for smart city. And and then we also have a paper on the whole oneM2M implementation what we have at the IIT. So interestingly, we have been having this nice ecosystem, but definitely want to go to the third phase I mentioned, where we can contribute. So we're not able to let's say get time because we are doing too many things already, and then we don't have, even without funding, doing so many things. But if we get some more funding, maybe we will be able to get more engineers who we can dedicate. And already we are coming up with new ideas which can easily contribute it, just that we don't, right? And as I mentioned, a couple of use cases already we have done. So one very interesting example in capstone project. So because all the basically all the projects in the course have to have oneM2M. So we had a project which like figured out that it is really difficult to use oneM2M in that context, and that was a basically remote lab. If you remember what TCS researchers presented, we have a remote labs where person can access school level experiments. So we have created, our second year students have created school level experiments which let's say basic physics experiments which anybody in the world can access and basically do experiments. So we wanted to implement those kind of projects and add to our systems. And there we realized that oneM2M is not developed. There were some issues. I'm not expert, but I'm just telling that even we are able to find, let's say, we have the potential and we are in that stage where we can contribute. It's that we don't know. So yeah, but I think it has been very interesting, I will say, experience.
Thank you very much, Professor Sachin. Yeah, of course, India has many experiences as well. and the other point, actually we have a remote participant, Professor Harish, right? Thanks for joining. So at this point, we would like to, ask you to share your experience, please.
Thank you, Andrew. So I will add to the experiences shared by Jyosung and Professor Sachin. So here in my university, we started basically in 2018. In 2018, we started with one workshop by understanding oneM2M, that workshop by Thierry Montiel and Smith Media from LAS in our lab. So in 2018, we tried to understand that how oneM2M can be integrated into our academic processes, our research work, and the courses which we teach, and the projects which we formulate and propose to the various agencies or to the industry. And thereafter, we work with local government, where we invited officials from the local government as well as from DoD, and we discussed that how sensors and particularly oneM2M can contribute towards smart cities and providing citizen-centric services. And then our group in the university started focusing on two different aspects: the healthcare and agriculture. We took agriculture as a preventive healthcare measure. And in the healthcare scenario, some of the students who were earlier exposed to oneM2M in 2018, they took the idea that they can use machine-to-machine communication for providing the healthcare services to the remote areas. And then they devised a machine which can now do 60 plus of the patient tests, which include invasive as well as non-invasive, and all those machines integrated are talking to each other. Although still they are not able to do it on oneM2M platform, but at least by taking that tool from 2018 learning, they started integrating those sensors into the single machine. That machine is not commercially available. And in second arena, in the agriculture part, Minister of Electronics and IT supported one of the projects in our lab, where basically we developed a device which can detect and alert the people for agriculture fires. So basically in North India, there's a problem of agricultural residue burning. So particularly in the 2-3 months in September and October, this issue arises in Northern India. And to capture that, to reduce that number of fire incidents, we have devised that device. So towards the end of the discussion, if there will be time, then I can share some decisions on the health product as well as on device. So this is how we are right now working on oneM2M, and in future what we are planning. So we are preparing a proposal for technology development fund for DOT, where we can have some tested for oneM2M devices. Already we work with the Telecommunication Engineering Center, and one of our product is certified by Telecommunication Engineering Center against their GA document. So we have a certification and it's already in the commercial domain. So now if we will have oneM2M test in our campus, then probably we can start contributing along with TEC. We can start contributing towards the testing of the oneM2M compliance products also. So this is our future plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Harish, for your sharing future plan as well. Thank you very much. So the universities, we are doing many things with the oneM2M specifications. So we're doing the capstone project and also studying the specification as well. But the important thing is the industry, right? So yeah, Mr. Jeff, Raj, sorry. So yeah, please say your opinion.
I hope I was born 25 years later. I'm feeling envy with them because they are talking about the educational institutions, educating students about oneM2M. I'm from an era when discrete components were used, and in my college I used to make projects, spent a lot of money on buying these components, integrating them together and all that. Once this Amazon era started, you start buying things from internet. I have so many automation items from the websites, and I mean, if you see my cupboard, it's full of discrete modules. I'm very enthusiastic about home automation. So in this process, I bought a few years back a Raspberry Pi, and I tried to put it, took from my son
learned a little bit of Python, but somehow, I have not been able to integrate them together. And moment I came from about oneM2M last year from a TCSI, the word itself was very attractive to me. One was M2M, machine to machine, and one was added to that. That was music to my ears. It was very clear to me that now these things are going to work together. They will talk to each other. So that's how my love towards oneM2M started. And the moment we got membership with TSTSI, I straight away said, let's do something on this. So I have some very bright engineers in the company. So as very which was lying with me, I gave it to my engineer that please start putting it and let's do something on automation. And after my retirement, I'm planning to get into agriculture. So that came first to my mind. Let's do something in agriculture field. That's why Mr. Sanjesh from our company, he has programmed. You see some product we have come out with. So that's how my journey with oneM2M is here. And really, though I'm from the time when it was not so, but I'm enjoying because in my company I have free hand to whatever we want, so I can steer it accordingly so that we are able to contribute to the society in coming days. So I wish that we all synchronize on the same thoughts, we all think the same way. Let's work together to make oneM2M a big success. And all the best to all of you, and thank you very much for sharing your experiences with us. I share one more thing. I was traveling abroad, and it was really very interesting to see the public transport timing. India, if I go to public transport, I wait for a bus. I don't know when this bus is going to come. But on bus stand, there is a display very accurately to the seconds. The bus will come exactly at that time. I think this is the result of, for general public, it's a very useful thing to know when the bus is going to come. So I was very interested with this. So really recently I was in Korea and I enjoyed that. Your public transport system is very good. And I wish that we replicate something similar in India as a result of technological advancement.
Thank you for your opinion.
Maybe can I add to Neeraj's concern? Welcome to Chandigarh. You will see the same synchronization in the public transport. Public transport in Chandigarh is having all the synchronized data. So on the bus stop, you will get the bus the same time, which is displayed in the online mode, real-time mode.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Niraj, I guess India will get this system too because you're planning to do that, right? In the future. Okay, thank you for your opinion and thank you for your comment, Paresh. So we have many participants in the floor. So there are any comments or questions or any opinion from the floor? Just put your hand up. Okay, so as I said, we just started this program, so maybe between and along this program, there may be many comments and opinions from floor and all over the world, I guess. So as I said, the oneM2M, we are introducing the oneM and University Relations program. So we have a bi-weekly conference hall periodically. So every time we'll notice about it on the oneM2M homepage. And of course, we also made some page for the university program itself. So please take interest in the oneM2M and university activity. So thank you very much for joining today. We have no time, right? Thank you very much and see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this panel discussion. Now I request Mr. Benoit Soroche, the first counselor to digital transformation delegation of European Union to India, to kindly felicitate the panelists and the moderator. Andrew, we'll start with you. Bob. Jason, Professor Sachin Chaudhary from IIT Hyderabad. Mr. Andrej Stubb from Innos Technologies. Thank you. And now I'll request Mr. Vijay Madan